Catra, Ebistrobin, Asanta, Tandea, Menon. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of From the Heart, and today we will be discussing the Evil Dead. And if you're wondering what I just said, that is actually the cantrip, that is the summoning spell for the Kandarian demons. And I just thought while we wait for our own possession, for our own atrocities to happen, that maybe we could talk about Evil Dead, where this is all inspired. You know, we have a short amount of time, but it's gonna be okay. Let's just talk about this and let these deadites infest our mind. Now, as most of you probably know, the game recently came out. It's piqued my interest again in the Evil Dead franchise. Along with that, I've been reading tons and tons of different comic books and graphic novels, and when I seen this, I knew I had to pick it up. I knew that I had to see what its contents were. While I don't think I'm going to go through the entire story, I just kind of wanted to tell you guys some of the differences, how this thing runs compared to the movie, and overall whether or not I actually liked it. You know, it's kind of a mixed bag. But I do gotta say, overall, if you do love the Evil Dead franchise as a whole, you're probably gonna enjoy this. It's basically a one-to-one of the movie with some extra bonus parts left in. While it leaves kind of the less serious part that the first movie gave us, it's a lot more jokey, a lot more one-linery. I mean, you can literally hear Ash say these lines, but as I read it, I was left with wanting a little more. I thought maybe with a comic book adaptation, they could make it a little darker, a little more serious along with the Deadites, but it is a lot of jokes, alright? A lot of one-liners, a lot of people reacting to situations in ways that a human being would never do. But outside of that, you know, it's Evil Dead, alright? If you like Evil Dead, you're gonna like this, and it's fairly cheap as well. I think this was like $15 or something like that. Yes, so the differences with this in between the movie, you actually get to start out before they're actually driving to the cabin. You get to learn a little about Scotty and Ash's relationship before that, how he actually met Linda, his girlfriend, and all their friends in general. So I thought that was kind of cool. You also get to see a lot of the thoughts going on inside their heads, rather than just what's happening on screen. You get a lot of really cool flashbacks and things like that. You get the origin story to the man who found the Necronomicon itself. You get to watch him as his life gets torn apart and how that's all explained about why this tape and things are there. And I thought that was really cool. Probably one of the better parts is actually getting to see this man reciting the words and slowly watching his family come out to kill him, as he just really has no idea what's going on, ultimately to find that he has to dismember his own child and wife. This is all left behind as a myth. And as you will see, Ash and all of them kind of talking about this man, they're like, man, this place is kind of spooky, right? And this place is kind of weird. It's all explained as just a man that actually eventually got cabin fever and slew his family. Now, while how I don't understand one single bit how this could possibly be, considering all the evidence is literally 10 feet below them, I guess when they found these bodies and things like that, nobody must have just walked right down into the basement, found the shotgun, the Kandarian knife, Kandafari notes, all these different things, a literal tape explaining what happened, about how he read this incantation and demons eventually possess people. And while you could say, like, the cops would never believe that, it's still right there. Everything's left in place. They never took any of this. I thought that was awfully weird. A very weird explanation, but better than none. You know, I think that's something that the movie kind of originally glosses over. This is one of the differences. Now, outside of that and getting to actually learn about Ash's like college days or whatever, well, I don't think he went to college, but his friends did. And I thought it was kind of fun to actually learn about them a little more. You get to learn that Scotty and Ash have been friends since grade school and things like that. How him and Linda eventually came to be with each other. You actually get to see the first time they made love in this, alright, in a car on the dark time, as Ash's face is literally drawn on to something like this. And I thought that part was pretty good. Now, for reaction-wise, alright, when people are being dismembered, girlfriends turned into deadites, people being R-worded by trees, the reaction is very, very subpar, alright? When the tree scene comes along, they kind of just get annoyed by how scared this lady is. They don't really believe her. Obviously, she's cut up, she's been dragged through the mud, and you would think, like, somehow they might actually kind of be able to at least understand that something did happen out in the woods, but they're all just kind of like, yo, you're ruining the weekend, we're all trying to party, and you just need to chill the fuck out. And I thought that was a little bit crass. I don't know when this was written, but with my 2022 brain set, it was a little hard, alright? And along with all the one-liners that go with all this, I was like, damn, bro, that's pretty fucking cool. Now when it comes to people actually being possessed in this, I think Scotty's girlfriend is the first one to turn. He actually ends up having to dismember her, alright? And there's a scene where he finally flees the house, alright? He leaves Ash on his lonesome after all the girls have finally been turned. And I don't remember that part in the movie itself. I haven't seen the movie in like a couple years, so maybe I need a refresher, but I don't remember him ever leaving and trying to find his own way on the woods, alright? But he leaves, he's trying to find his own way to bypass the broken down bridge, while Ash kind of knows that, you know, it'll fix itself in the morning, obviously, when dawn hits. But this is not the case, and he slowly comes to realize this. But a man walks up to Scotty in the woods. He just kind of sees a silhouette, you know. It may be a man, it may be a terrorizing demon waiting to tear off his face and eat it like a fucking piece of solid cheese off of a pizza. These are not the things we need to focus on. So Scotty basically glosses over the entire fact that all of his friends have been murdered cruelly, torn to bits, chopped into pieces with an axe, and he just kind of boils it all down to, you know, some troubling things are happening. You know, me and my friends, something bad just happened, bro. If I give you a 20, if I give you some beer, is there anything that maybe you could do for us? You know, could you maybe walk me out of these woods? It turns out to be a deadite, alright? It fucks his ass up, beats his face in brutally, but eventually he does make it back to the cabin. But it's these reactionary parts that I just couldn't quite wrap my head around, alright? I thought this shit was just a little ridiculous, as I've said probably 10 times now. That's what you're gonna get through this, alright? A lot of people doing a lot of dumb shit in a fast amount of time. Now this will probably take you about 45 minutes or so to read through. I believe it's like 100 some pages, maybe 120, and I've kind of boiled that down to about an hour when it comes to any comic book in general. And I thought it was a pretty fair deal for the price, like 15 bucks or whatever for this nice hardcover. So if you're looking for a nice little coffee table book, something very neat, you can get this nice Evil Dead book itself. Now when it comes to the artwork and everything, it's very good, especially when it comes to the Deadites. There's a few panels in here when it's just straight, just normal humanoid people doing their interactions or whatever. But I thought it almost looked like just a picture being taken with a paint filter slapped over top of it. And I know you can't see any of this, so maybe I'll actually take some different close-up shots, maybe. But it turns out that it's actually all by one guy, alright? An incredible artist that just straight up knows a very good style of his own. And when it comes to the Deadites, the artwork gets very fantastic. All the different works and things like that. You get some extra stuff here in the back where you actually get to see some of the original sketches before the coloring and stuff is done. And you actually get these nice little panels from the writers themselves as they kind of talk about the book, how Evil Dead became to be such a popular franchise to begin with. Because back in the 80s or 90s or whenever this came out, I know it's in one of those two time periods, it wasn't exactly the biggest deal in the world. It took a lot of time for people to eventually make Evil Dead become the cult classic that it is. And I thought that was very interesting. I kind of love it when all these different comic books do this. I just read one called The Bliss that had a very touching end of the story by the actual writer himself, explaining how he actually came to writing the story and how it corresponds with his life and things like that. But it's just a nice little bonus, alright? I think this may actually be some sort of, it is the 40th anniversary edition. Now I've also seen a 30th, and I think I've seen that one in segments. I don't know if they release it in single issues of like 20, 40 pages or whatever. I try to stay away from those, and I try to just stick to collectives and omnibuses and things like that. Basically, like I said, you know, you're just gonna get Evil Dead straight up with a lot more one-liners, a lot less serious, and it's kind of just almost like a coffee book table version of Evil Dead, something that you can just kind of leave out nicely for people to be like, oh shit, that's Evil Dead in a book. Isn't that neat? I'm obviously just going to keep it on my shelf, but I'm glad I bought it. I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was a nice little way to get a little bit more into comic books with just something I already know, something that I actually know a lot about. And it was very nice to get all these extra little segments in it. And it was just kind of a nice little way to get myself back into the Evil Dead franchise and make me want to watch that first movie for the 50th time. You could almost do a read along with this thing. There's only a few misplacing parts. There's only a few missing things. Like for one, I don't think they ever mentioned that one of the ladies is actually Ash's sister, and I'm pretty sure I'm not remembering that wrong. I'm almost positive that's what was going on in the movie. I don't know if they do this just for this own story's sake and the things that they do in it. Other than that, you know, it's a basically just 1-to-1 with a few extra bonuses. So if you do like Evil Dead, be sure to check this thing out. That's basically all I have to say about this one, you know? Like I said, I think we already know what Evil Dead is. I don't think anybody really needs another retelling of such a story. But I hope I gave you guys a little something to look forward to. Maybe check it out for yourself if you're very much so interested in it. The origin parts are definitely worth it. I think getting to see Ash and like S-Smart hanging out with his friends in school and things like that, just pretty nice. There's actually some pretty sweet moments between him and Linda and things like that before they actually go to the cabin, and just him kind of explaining how much he loves her and things like that in his head. And on top of that, just a very nice little collector's piece. But anyways, guys, I know this one was a super short one, but I hope you enjoyed. If you can, let me know about some different franchises down below. I think I'm actually going to try and pick up Evil Dead 2 and 3. I think they have a lot of spin-off series for those ones with just like different little chapters of things they did. I've seen that they come in a lot more volumes than just this one. So we'll check that out. I know for a fact Army of Darkness is able to do a lot of different things in little side stories without like completely messing up the canon. I actually recently just seen that in an old comic book shop, but like I said, it was just a little single issue of like 10 or 15 pages, so I wasn't too much interested. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know some different things that I can maybe cover for you guys. I'm maybe going to be doing a book here soon. I'm actually finally getting through an actual book itself. But have yourself a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching, and like if you liked it. All right, it would help me a great deal. And I just gotta quick come out and be honest. The reason this is so short is because I know my time is limited after reading those notes. So enjoy yourself. This is the last YouTube video you might ever watch. I guess let your family aware that you just did this. All right, you listened to that. You didn't have to, but you chose to. You listened to me say the words. It's too late now. So enjoy, YouTube. Enjoy.